morning, students.
Good
Morning,
morning.
sir.
So today we are going to explore a famous British folktale called The Paddle of Swaham. It's about how perseverance and trust can lead to surprising rewards. Before we read, let's think about the stories we have heard about dreams or unexpected fortune. What kind of stories from your family or community talk about dreams or luck?
My mom told me a story about someone dreaming about winning the lottery, and then it really happened.
That's
My mom
good.
did the same.
That's good. Claire, what about you, Claire?
We have a story about finding something valuable by accident, like a lost treasure in a field.
That's wonderful. The story we are reading today has a similar idea. Before we begin, let's look at some words you encounter, such as the words peddler, fortune, and dreams. Did anyone want to volunteer? Anson, do you know what a peddler is?
Is it someone who sells things or like a traveling merchant?
Yes, exactly. The fortune. And fortune, Ethan?
It means luck or getting something.
Perfect. Let's see how those words fits into today's story.
More English Fairy Tales by Joseph Jacobs. The Peddler of Swaffham. In the old days, when London Bridge was lined with shops from one end to the other, and salmon swam under the arches, there lived at Swaffham in Norfolk a poor peddler. He'd much ado to make his living, trudging about with his pack at his back and his dog at his heels, and at the close of the day's labour was but too glad to sit down and sleep. Now it fell out that one night he dreamed a dream, and therein he saw the great bridge of London town, and it sounded in his ears that if he went there he should hear joyful news. He made little count of the dream, but on the following night it came on the great bridge, and saw all the tall houses on right hand and left, and had glimpses of the water running and the ships sailing by. All day long he paced to and fro, but he heard nothing that might yield him comfort. And again on the morrow, but he heard nothing that might yield him comfort. And again on the morrow he stood and he gazed. He paced afresh the length of London Bridge, and naught did he see, and naught did he. Now the day they come, he still stood and gazed. A shopkeeper hard by spoke to him. "Friend," said he, "I wonder much at your fruitless standing. Have you no wares to sell?" "No, indeed," quoth the pedlar. "And you do not beg for alms?" "Not so long as I can keep myself." "Then what, I pray thee, dost thou want here, and what may thy business be?" "Well, kind sir, to tell the truth, I dreamed that if I can..."
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir.
Okay, let's begin reading of The Paddler of the Swaham. I will start with the first paragraph to set the scenes. Listen carefully to how the paddler received a mysterious message in his dreams. From the first paragraph, once upon a time in the small town of Swaham, there lived a poor peddler named John. He traveled from village to village selling goods, but his life was difficult as he was always struggling to make the ends meet. One night, after a long day of work, he went to sleep in his humble cottage. So now we will take turns reading, and subsequently, Ethan, now we will take turns reading. Ethan, can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. That night, John had a strange dream. In his dream, he saw a grand city, London, far to the south, and in that city, a great treasure was buried beneath an old oak tree. The dream seemed so vivid and real that when John woke up, he couldn't shake the feeling that the treasure was waiting for him.
Nice work. Thank you, Ethan. Claire, your turn.
The next day, John decided to follow the dream. He packed his belongings and set off for London, hoping to find the treasure described in his dream. He traveled for many days, crossing hills and rivers, until he finally reached the city. However, when he arrived, he searched the area beneath the old oak tree, but there was no treasure to be found. Disappointed, John wandered the city, feeling lost.
Nice reading, Claire. Let's suppose What did the peddler do when he did not find the treasure in London? Kasi?
He spoke to the shopkeeper who told him to trust his dream.
Exactly. And Herdrin, do you have any things to say? What happened to when the peddler went home?
He dug under his apple tree and found the treasure.
Right, right. What do you think the shopkeeper advised after him, Justin?
Because the shopkeeper believed in following your instincts, and the peddler's treasure was always near him.
Great point. This story reminds us to believe in ourselves and sometimes look close to home for answers. And now, let's try. Imagine the peddler ignores the shopkeeper's advice. How might his story have ended? Write a short paragraph for your own version. You
So,
can.
should we keep it set in the UK?
Yes, Anson, keep the peddler and setting in your versions. You have 2 minutes to write.
那你讲他变男子了是吗？
好像没有唱歌，好像你是没有手。
我真弯了我的脚。
我是要问你的成绩。
Okay, time's up. Let's hear some ideas. Kasi, what do you write?
I wrote that the peddler kept searching in London, but he never found anything and became even poorer. Exhausted and disheartened, he returned to Swaffham with empty pockets and a heavy heart. Little did he know, the treasure he sought had been waiting under his apple tree all along, but his despair kept him from ever digging there.
Interesting. Let's count the importance of trusting advice. Ethan, what about you? Your version?
I wrote that he went home angry and didn't dig under the apple tree, so he never found the treasure. Instead, he spent the rest of his days regretting the journey to London and doubting his dreams. The apple tree remained in his garden, its roots silently guarding the fortune he will never uncover.
Yes, a very different ending, Ethan. Both ideas highlights how choices shape outcomes. And I think that's all for today, guys. Well done, everyone. This story teaches us to trust ourselves and explore opportunities. Even when they seem small,